Hi, Miss Eglin here, and in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about reading. And I found this quote online, and it says, "With these discouraging findings, the National Endowment for the Arts warns that literacy, which is reading, writing, as a leisure activity, that means something you would do in your spare time for pleasure, will virtually disappear in half a century." So that's in 50 years, which will be around 2070. That means no one will read for pleasure anymore. As less of our population engages in pleasurable literacy activities in adulthood, our schools hold an increasingly important responsibility, carving out instructional time, space, and resources for literary practices that build engagement. That means you're interested in doing it. Motivation, you want to do it, and joy. You love to do it in reading. Two powerful instructional practices, teacher-led read-alouds and independent reading, have the power and promise to set students on a path of lifelong reading. That is the goal. When instructional time is devoted to these practices, we rouse students into embracing literacy as a perennial skill and practice. So in school, a lot of people might ask, why do we have to have independent reading? I just sit there. I fall asleep. I don't do anything. And, we give you time to do that, hoping that you will actually read. In my enrichment, we do read-alouds. So we read a book out loud that we decide, that we want to try next. And some people are able to read their own books. Other people listen to what I'm reading. And other people just space out or, block it out or whatever. That is something we can't stop you from. I've always believed you get out of things what you put into them. So if you, take this very, very valuable time, because we could be, doing instruction, but we take this time out because we know how important reading is. So if you don't use that time well by, trying to find a book that you actually like, or, not leaving your book in the hallway on the floor and actually, bringing it with you and reading it, then it's really hard to help somebody. There's a quote, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So we can do everything to try to help you want to read, but again, it is up to you in the end. Okay, and this next poster was something I found on Instagram, which I almost never go on, but I did, and this jumped out to me. So I took a screenshot, and sorry, I do not know who this lady is because I accidentally cut off her face, but it says, #the struggle is real. What is struggle time? When you get stuck, when real learning happens. Because if you're not struggling and making mistakes, if you already know something, you're not learning anything new. But the struggle time is the first part of independent practice. So when you're trying something by yourself, when help isn't available right away and you're trying to do it on your own. Okay, so what do you do if you're struggling? And all of these things can apply to reading in particular. Stay calm and be positive. Try one part at a time. Look ahead to the next problem. Sometimes real readers skip things. If there's really long, descriptions, sometimes you skip things. Use resources, notes, tools, etc. So, when you're online and you're reading, you can just usually click a button and it will give you the definition. Talk to a partner. Okay, and also, when we're talking about reading, of course, a huge one is reread. Readers go back and reread things they don't understand. What you should not do is just sit there, okay? So this is during, when we're having individual reading time, we really don't want people just to sit there, taking up space, okay? You should be at least trying to read something that you like or find something. Don't run away. A lot of people want to say, can I go to the nurse? Can I go to the bathroom? Can I get a drink? Can I go get something in my locker? Okay, that's not what you should be doing at this time. Powder complains. Some people complain about their seat. They don't like their seat. They're hot. They're cold. They're hungry, whatever. This is not going to help you get through. And, all of these things apply to reading. The struggle is real. But here's the thing about reading. It's worth it. Okay? In this next slide, people might wonder why, we do all these grants, these after-school programs, these prizes, trying to encourage people to read. I believe when you find something you like and you're interested in, that you will read it. However, if you don't even try, you have to put forth the effort on your side, then there's nothing anybody can do. Okay, I don't know why this picture's so big, but I'm not going to make this smaller. It says, this is just a fact, again, found online. It says, as novels became more prominent during the 1700s, society and the media grew increasingly concerned that young people spent too much time reading books. Okay, so people hundreds of years ago were not happy about people reading. They thought, they were wasting their time. They should have been doing, other things like, working. I really don't know what else they should have been doing. But just think about how times have changed. So now we have, in 50 years, reading for pleasure is going to be obsolete, whereas a few hundred years ago, people really thought, it was not a good thing. Okay. So just with this in mind, think about what you are going to do to increase your own reading, and, why should you read? What is the purpose? And are you going to become a lifelong reader? Thanks for watching. Bye.